Well, hello YouTube universe, how's everybody doing today? In this Jack Chat, I will actually talk about the Outer Banks, basically my trip to the Outer Banks, North Carolina. Basically me and my family's trip to Outer Banks, North Carolina. Now, I won't be going the whole details, I will just keep it short as I can. So, I can't promise you that, but it's hard, but I'll definitely keep it short. Now, some of the pictures you're looking at are screenshots of the beach house we actually stayed in. Very nice beach house. Every room was perfectly detailed with nothing but paintings of ships and of course seagulls and all the things that makes it a beach house, I guess. So we pretty much drove out of state. We actually went through and of course passed over the last exit in Ohio and of course Lordstown and all that. We first went into Pennsylvania and we went part in Maryland and we drove to a different highway and we went into West Virginia and then Virginia. And of course, Virginia's for lovers. And of course, we got off at Route 17, which I was really excited about. And traffic was bad due to a power outage in somewhere in Route 17. Don't know what city it was. Well, we actually took a shortcut, went on I-95, and of course, we saw a huge assembly line where they build ships. We went in an underwater tunnel that goes underwater, and it was kind of scary to think that we were underwater. We stopped for the night in a city known as Chesapeake, Virginia. So we stopped at this hotel called a Hyatt Place. I mean, it was an average hotel. I mean, it's not like it's a resort from there. I mean, to be honest, I find hotels to be more of the same. All it is just bedrooms, couches, no kitchen, and of course there's a bathroom, but the weirdest thing about it is that there's no exhaust fan in the bathroom. So I kind of find that kind of stupid to not put an exhaust fan in the bathroom. I mean, to be honest, the bed kind of reminds me of my own bed, even though the mattress is not even a memory foam. One thing we didn't go was the pool over there, because apparently, I mean, sometimes the pool can be overcrowded, especially if we're in a pandemic, still in a pandemic. But of course, it was a nice stay, to be honest. So it was raining, of course. I had this cute tiny pizza, white pizza, from a family owned restaurant in Chesapeake. It was pretty good for a pizza. Of course, this wasn't a My 600 Pound Life episode, so I had Taco Bell with the pizza. So after we ate, we actually turned on TV and a dog whisper was on, and this cute Yorkie comes. And all of a sudden, this cute Yorkie all of a sudden pops up on the TV. And of course, the Yorkie was named Ducky. Isn't that cute? Ducky the Yorkie. And he's on TikTok, just so you know. And of course, this cute little dog may seem nice, but let me tell you, in the show, this dog was so aggressive. And let me tell you, every time you try to touch him, oh my god, he would all of a sudden be this like crazy Yorkie, and he just snaps like crazy. Now this Yorkie has 1 million followers on TikTok, which is crazy. I mean, to be honest, it's hard to believe this Yorkie is even mean. I mean, he seems cute in the video, but I cannot believe how mean this Yorkie was on the episode of Dog Whisper. So, of course, then we went to sleep at night. Yep. We got up early the next morning. So the next morning we woke up, and of course the weather, I don't know why I post that Snapchat. I just like doing the weather in a certain location. So of course for breakfast I had orange juice, banana, sausage, egg muffin, a cinnamon roll, yogurt, and I don't know what else I had, but I guess that's it. Of course, we left the hotel. Finally, we're on our way to our main destination. And let me tell you, I have worked in a hotel before, and to be honest, I mean, it was a great experience, but I would never be a housekeeper. Of course, I saw this cool Volvo Penta, pretty much where they make semi-trucks. My mama used to work there, Actually, no, she used to work on one of those things. She used to put doors on semi trucks. And then interesting that Volvo makes semi trucks. So we got on our exit. Sorry that the picture is kind of blurry. And of course, we got out of the Chesapeake Expressway. Of course, we were in North Carolina. Unfortunately, it sucks because I didn't even get the Welcome to North Carolina sign. Very small sign, you couldn't even see it. So we crossed this bridge that goes over some sort of river. Cross over another bridge, which is a lot longer than the one on the river. We first went into Kitty Hawk, North Carolina. And believe it or not, it was actually the place where the Wright brothers flew their plane to. And finally, we made it to Nag's Head. Unfortunately, our house wasn't ready yet. So we went to this place, we went to this diner to eat lunch. So of course I had chocolate milk, Belgian waffles, and of course sausage links, which were kind of interesting to pretty much an interesting shape. Went back to the house, and of course, finally, people were there. What we did was interesting. We sat outside the whole time until they let us in the house. An inspector came to go in the house. And the humidity was high, and it was hot out. Now, meanwhile, I have, in fact, when I first arrived there, I actually got pictures of these purple martins everywhere. Beautiful. There is, in fact, a purple martin house 3 or 4 doors down from our rented house. The coolest thing is, I actually shot this picture. I went to the beach and I shot this awesome picture of this seagull and this bird coming right behind them. Very cool. Eventually, we were able to get in the house. Now, later that day, I did some drone shots. If you guys haven't not checked out my latest drone shots of the trip, be sure to subscribe and, of course, ring the bell. So later, I decided to take my tripod and, of course, my iPhone to actually get this shot of me looking at the waves and turning back towards the camera to get me looking at the camera having that serious smile. Of course, my dad's friend Scott actually went out in the water, of course, with his friend Mike, and they were riding the waves and everybody was having a good time. In fact, the first day at the beach 2021, everybody was definitely having a good time. So the next day I woke up and I went to watch the sunrise over the ocean. It was a little bit overcast outside. Now, of course, I was going to do a time lapse with my Nikon Coolpix P900, but the lens got so foggy that you could tell how humid it was out there. I happened to spare this beautiful shot of the pelicans flying above the sunrise. It was pretty cool too. One thing I didn't even notice on my viewfinder of my drone was that I actually caught the dolphins swimming in the ocean. Isn't that interesting? Now, of course, on the trip, when we got to the beach house, I found this snail shell. And of course, I thought, well, that would be nice to have another snail shell in my collection. So I put it in my camera bag. It wasn't until I looked in the bag that morning and watched the sunrise. The snail was alive, and there was a live snail, and I got this picture. Of course, I let him go. I got this cool picture of him. Isn't he the most cutest thing you ever seen? So later that day, a few of us went to the beach, and of course, there was some nice big waves, and everybody was jumping the waves, and we were having a good time. I gotta admit, for Max's age, it's hard to believe he's a pro at doing all that kinds of that stuff with the waves. And of course, here's a funny picture of Scott. I know this might not be interesting, but I can't believe how many jellyfish washed up all week. And then next thing you know, a bad storm rolled in, bringing lightning and all that. I was actually filming to see if a lightning strikes a ocean, just like the YouTube videos I've seen of lightning bolts striking the ocean. That would be a cool experience, but of course I didn't see a lightning bolt. All I saw was just flashes of lightning. Pretty intense storm. Yeah, it was quite interesting that it stormed 2 times that day. So I did happen to buy my babe something. This beautiful mermaid I bought at the store called Sugar Kingdom. They have all kinds of candy. I only got chocolate and all that. Of course, the boys were having a good old time, actually talking and having fun. So later that day, we saw the sunset, and of course, the sun was setting across the other side of the Outer Banks. And here is a beautiful shot of Maddie and, of course, Maxon right by the sunset. So that night, we stood up, we had a good time, we were laughing a lot. And of course, the boys, of course, Scott's three sons were in fact sitting on the table, just, talking as well. So Monday arrived, and the ocean was nice and clear. Happened to get this beautiful shot of a Carolina wren singing. Of course, Mike and Troy, I believe, went down to the beach to actually have fun in the morning. And there were no lifeguards yet. Then next thing you know, my dad went down there to actually join. And then later that day, I went down to actually take a dip in the pool, pretty much a pool right in front of, well, actually, it was the pool that was part of the beach house. I know what you're thinking. Who puts a pool right by a beach house? Of course, right by the beach, when you can actually go in the ocean. I actually liked it. I didn't mind it at all, of course. Here's something cool that I didn't think I saw flying in the sky before. A biplane. Basically, a plane with double wings. So later that day, we went on a thing called, well, I would say a sunset cruise. It's basically a boat where people can have fun, party. Kind of like something we see in Cleveland, like the Good Time 3 in Cleveland. But this was more, well, actually, it's basically called a booze cruise. But I guess we'll call it something else. Of course, we're going a little bit of a faster amount of knots. That it was so windy out that Maddie's hair, I got the shot of Maddie's hair blowing in her face. We happened to go under this bridge that we crossed to actually get over to the boat. It was a pretty long bridge. Pretty beautiful bridge, too. Of course, I saw these very neat views I didn't think existed in the United States. Of course, that day, Scott was talking about how he saw an osprey carrying a large fish. I got this shot of an osprey, but it wasn't as good as the second shot I got, which was amazing. Of course, an awesome moment of all, a great sunset on a boat. Of course, I got this beautiful picture of my mom by the sunset, my dad and his friends in the sunset, my mom and dad in the sunset as well. It wasn't until we saw this lighthouse lighting up at night. It blinked 2 times every 22 seconds. Of course, when it got real dark later that night, I felt like I was on the Titanic. And of course, the dance party was on. We had a bunch of people, a bunch of ladies dancing. And let me tell you, it was awesome to see everybody dance. I danced as well. And of course, people were drinking, probably catching a buzz. But you know what? I kind of liked it. It was kind of nice to be partying pretty much since I never got to go to dances last year in 2020 due to the pandemic. Of course, later that night, my dad actually challenged people to do a push up challenge. Everybody did pretty well. I mean, to be honest, I would imagine some people were probably good. Some of them were not, but let me tell you, I think Maddie did probably good, better than anyone else. So then the next day, me and my dad and two of his friends drove to see the lighthouse that was viewed by the boat. And I'm pretty sure I actually was the one that actually found the exact lighthouse that was lit up at the night. Of course, we were followed by rain, but we managed to actually make it before the rain followed us here at the lighthouse. So I wanted to fly my drone over the lighthouse so I can get a beautiful footage. I did a footage all around the lighthouse, surrounding the lighthouse, to get a 360 view of the lighthouse. Wasn't really my perfect 360 view, but there's gotta be a better drone. Well, I like my drone, but hopefully I'll have to practice doing a 360 view of the lighthouse. But it's such a beautiful lighthouse. I fell in love with it so much. It'll probably be the only time I see that lighthouse in my life, but it's beautiful. And if you haven't seen the lighthouse footage, please be sure to check it out. And of course, make sure to subscribe and ring the bell. Of course, this was probably the best photo I've taken of the lighthouse so far. Of course, fun facts about the lighthouse. The lighthouse was built in 1872, and of course it was first lit up with filaments or oil, and then when electricity came, light bulbs took over, and the light can be seen for 19 miles. Probably the reason why I was staring at the lighthouse when it was blinking the whole time on the boat. It's funny, I think I recognize this lighthouse from a video I saw on YouTube. Yeah, I think I do a lightning stroke this lighthouse one time. So after we went to see the lighthouse, we went to this place to get some clothes at 17th Street. Of course, my mom wanted to go to that store, but she never. Well, actually, she did at one time. And then we went to this cool Harley store. I actually tried on this helmet. I kind of look good in this helmet. Wish I can use this for my bike. Of course, my shoe in that, of course. So, of course, until the next day, it rained pretty much every day. Of course, all day, I guess. And it created these huge waves. Not totally big, but these big waves. And I gotta tell you, it was such an amazing thing to see. It was beautiful. I mean, I never get to see this that much in Delaware. But these waves are huge. We'd actually had a flag put up saying dangerous current on it. I happened to go down there to get a beautiful close-up of them. I wasn't going in the ocean, but I stand on the beach and I got this shot. Definitely something I would definitely think to myself, man, probably someone would definitely want to surf on this ocean. But to be honest, I wouldn't even surf either, so, yep. Of course, very nice. These are usually the kind of waves I would see on news broadcasts when there's a hurricane coming. So, it turns out we celebrated the Marine reunion. Really nice to get the boys together and have a good time to eat this delicious cake that Maddie made. Really, really good. Kind of rich too. I did happen to pretty much play a game which I lost to, and I was pretty much upset about it. So on the last day, the weather got a little bit better. We just sat on the top deck, and we did picture day. Here is an awesome quick shot of the whole crew. Of course, new people to actually join in for the fun. And let me tell you, it was nice to see the beach house in the background. And we got this photo from the drone. And then I set up my tripod and my camera to get this shot of us on the front porch, which remind me of a Camp Newhop picture. And then we got the boys with their shirt on, both front and back. And to celebrate the end of a great week, of course, we got a permit to have a fire pit. So as the sun set, of course, it was beautiful that my dad wanted me to get a picture of the lifeguard chair in the twilight sky. Of course, Mike wanted to get in the shot too. So the fire was nice and hot, and everybody was having a good time. We were listening to music. We had some marshmallows, s'mores, anything you can think of. And of course, looking up on the night sky, we saw a beautiful amount of stars in the sky. Now, due to the fact it was actually someone else's birthday in our group, we actually saw fireworks. Someone was lighting fireworks at night close to us. Of course, the kids were actually out night looking for some ghost crabs, and they found a few nice ones. So Friday came, and it was actually time for me and my family to go home. So we said goodbye to Scott, and we were on the road. Of course, I am kind of out of time, so apparently I want to actually show you one more picture that I was so excited of getting. Of course, The Shenandoah River sign. I never thought I would ever see something like this. Didn't think it existed either. Hard to believe. And over the hill, I could have sworn I saw the Blue Ridge Mountains. Before I go, make sure to subscribe to this channel and ring the bell to get notified for the latest content. You have the option to get notified for personalized videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure to go to settings and switch on notifications for YouTube. So yeah, that's it for the trip of the Outer Banks. Hopefully I did some good details, but if I left something out, I did not want to go on the whole details, because I know that we celebrated a birthday, we celebrated a lot of things, and I got pretty much a few cool souvenirs, which I did leave out in the video, because, everybody knows that probably souvenirs are kind of boring, but you know what? I hope everybody has a great day, and I'm sorry that it's so late, and I know it's the end of August. It should have been posted sooner. But anyways, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and don't forget to mask up, vaccinate, don't hesitate, America. Stop COVID.